Chosen one, beware of the days to come. There is a stirring deep within your spirit right now. With this calling comes a warning that will decide whether you rise to your destiny or fall into the trap set for the unprepared. Listen carefully, for what I'm about to reveal will shake the very foundation of how you perceive the world around you. In the days that are rapidly approaching, everything that seems harmless today will become spiritual poison tomorrow. Every voice that whispers sweet encouragements, every opportunity that glitters with promise, every relationship that offers comfort, they will all become tests of your discernment. Before we go deeper into this revelation, I want you to do something that will change the trajectory of your spiritual journey. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not later, not when the video ends, but now. Because the insights you are about to receive are just the beginning of a deeper awakening that awaits you. Hit that notification bell, because the messages coming your way will be the spiritual armor you need for the battles ahead. The chosen ones have always faced this reality. Throughout history, those called to walk the narrow path have discovered that their greatest dangers do not come from obvious enemies or clear opposition. No, the most insidious threats come disguised as angels of light, wrapped in the language of wisdom, presented through the faces of those we trust. You have felt it, haven't you? That growing sense that something is shifting in the spiritual atmosphere. That increasing awareness that the world around you is becoming more deceptive, more cunning in its attempts to pull you away from your true purpose. This is not paranoia speaking through you. This is spiritual intelligence awakening within your consciousness. The ancient texts warned us of times when good would be called evil and evil would be called good. We are entering that season now. But here is what most people miss. This deception will not come through obvious darkness. It will come through subtle compromise, gradual accommodation, and the slow erosion of spiritual boundaries that once seemed unmovable. Think about the conversations happening around you right now. Notice how often you hear advice that sounds reasonable, practical, even wise by worldly standards, yet something deep within your spirit recoils. That inner witness is not mistaken. It is your spiritual radar detecting frequencies that your mind has not yet learned to identify as dangerous. The enemy of your soul understands that direct assault rarely works with the chosen ones. You have been too well trained, too spiritually aware to fall for obvious temptations. So the strategy has changed. Now the attack comes through infiltration, through voices that speak 90% truth mixed with 10% poison. And that 10% is designed specifically to derail your destiny. Every relationship in your life will soon be tested by this reality. People you have trusted for years may begin speaking words that feel wrong in your spirit, even when their intentions seem pure. Family members who once supported your spiritual journey may start questioning your discernment, suggesting that you are becoming too rigid, too separated from the world. This is where your spiritual maturity will be proven. The ability to love people while refusing to be influenced by their counsel, when that counsel contradicts the voice of the Spirit within you. This is not about becoming cold or isolating yourself from human connection. This is about developing the wisdom to know when human advice, no matter how well-intentioned, has been tainted by worldly thinking. Your mind is your battlefield now. Every thought that enters your consciousness must be filtered through spiritual discernment. Ideas that once seemed neutral or even helpful may now carry spiritual contamination. Entertainment that once provided harmless distraction may now be feeding your soul with subtle poison. News sources that once informed your understanding may now be shaping your perspective in ways that conflict with eternal truth. Are you experiencing this shift in your own life right now? Have you noticed how certain conversations, certain influences, certain sources of information that once felt safe now trigger something uncomfortable in your spirit? Share in the comments below if you recognize this spiritual awakening happening within you. Your testimony might be the confirmation another chosen one needs to trust their own discernment. The separation process has begun. Not physical separation necessarily, but spiritual separation. You will find yourself naturally drawing away from influences that once held appeal. Music that once moved you may now feel spiritually empty. Books that once inspired you may now seem to carry undertones of deception. Even spiritual teachers who once fed your soul may begin to speak words that do not resonate with the deeper truth you are discovering. This is not a sign that you are becoming judgmental or prideful. This is a sign that your spiritual senses are being refined for the days ahead. Like a musician tuning an instrument, the Spirit is adjusting your ability to detect the subtle differences between what sounds right and what truly is right. The world system is preparing for a massive deception, one so sophisticated that even the elect would be deceived if it were possible. But it is not possible, because those who have been truly chosen carry within them a supernatural ability to discern truth from error, no matter how cleverly the error is disguised. Your isolation may increase during this season, not because you are withdrawing from people, but because people are unconsciously withdrawing from the light that is growing brighter within you. The intensity of your spiritual focus may make others uncomfortable. Your unwillingness to compromise on matters they consider trivial may create tension in relationships you once enjoyed. This is the cost of walking the narrow path. But understand this. Every relationship that falls away because of your spiritual standards was a relationship that would have eventually hindered your divine purpose. Every influence you release because it no longer aligns with your spiritual frequency was an influence that would have eventually corrupted your calling. The enemy knows your destiny better than you do right now. He understands the impact you are meant to have on the kingdom of darkness. So the attacks against you are not random. They are specifically designed to prevent you from reaching your full spiritual potential. But here is what the enemy does not understand. Every attack against you is actually strengthening your spiritual muscles. Every test of your discernment is sharpening your ability to hear the voice of truth. Every pressure to compromise is building within you an unshakable resolve to stand for what is right, regardless of the cost. You are being prepared for leadership in a time when most leaders will be compromised. You are being equipped with spiritual weapons for battles that others will not even recognize as battles. You are being positioned to be a lighthouse in a season when darkness will seem to overwhelm the light. The preparation process is not comfortable. It requires you to question everything, to test every spirit, to examine every influence through the lens of eternity rather than convenience. But this preparation is absolutely necessary for what lies ahead. Do not be surprised when people accuse you of being too sensitive, too spiritual, too careful about influences that seem harmless to them. Their spiritual senses have been dulled by gradual compromise. What seems harmless to them may indeed be poison to your more refined spiritual palate. Trust your spirit over your mind. Trust your inner witness over external pressure. Trust the peace of God over the approval of people. These principles will guide you safely through the minefield of deception that is being laid before every believer in these last days. Remember that your calling is not just about your own spiritual survival. You are being prepared to help others navigate these treacherous waters. Your discernment is being sharpened not just for your protection, but for the protection of others who will need your guidance when confusion overwhelms their ability to distinguish truth from error. The time of testing is here, but you were born for such a time as this. Every challenge you have faced in your past has been preparation for this moment. Every disappointment that seemed to derail your plans was actually positioning you for this purpose. Every relationship that ended in betrayal was teaching you to trust God's voice above human voices. Stand firm in your convictions. Hold fast to the truth that has been revealed to your spirit. Refuse to be moved by popular opinion or social pressure. The narrow path is becoming narrower, but it is the only path that leads to life. The signs are becoming clearer each day. You see them in the way conversations shift when you mention spiritual matters. You notice them in the increasing pressure to conform to ideologies that contradict the wisdom you have received through years of walking with the divine. You feel them in the subtle but persistent attempts to make you question your spiritual instincts. This is spiritual warfare at its most sophisticated level. The battle is not being fought with obvious weapons or clear battle lines. It is being waged in the realm of thoughts, emotions, and subtle influences that work to erode your spiritual foundation, one small compromise at a time. Your discernment is your shield in this battle. That inner knowing that causes you to pause when something feels wrong, even when everyone around you insists it is right. That spiritual radar that detects danger before your mind can articulate why. That divine wisdom that whispers warnings about people and situations that appear perfectly safe on the surface. Never apologize for this spiritual sensitivity. Never let others convince you that your standards are too high or your boundaries too strict. The very fact that people are pressuring you to lower your guard should confirm that your guard needs to stay exactly where it is. The world is becoming more comfortable with compromise, more accepting of mixture, more tolerant of spiritual confusion. But you are called to be a standard bearer in a time when standards are being abandoned. You are called to maintain clarity when others are embracing confusion. This will make you appear extreme to some people. They will label you as inflexible, judgmental, or out of touch with modern reality. But understand this. Their discomfort with your unwillingness to compromise is actually confirmation that your spiritual compass is functioning correctly. The poison that is coming will not announce itself as poison. It will come labeled as progress, as enlightenment, as spiritual evolution. It will be presented by sincere people who genuinely believe they are helping you grow beyond your current limitations. But you have been equipped with supernatural discernment for these exact moments. When something contradicts the truth that has been established in your spirit through years of genuine seeking, trust that inner witness over any external argument, no matter how compelling it sounds or who is presenting it. Your spiritual appetite is changing, and this is by design. Foods that once nourished your soul may now taste bland or even bitter. Teachers who once inspired you may now speak words that feel hollow or misaligned with deeper truth. This is not spiritual pride or arrogance. This is spiritual maturity, recognizing the difference between milk and meat, between shallow inspiration and deep transformation. The preparation phase is ending. The application phase is beginning. Everything you have learned in seasons of relative safety is about to be tested in the arena of real-world pressure. Your convictions will be challenged not by obvious enemies, but by well-meaning friends who cannot understand why you are becoming so particular about spiritual matters. Some of you are already experiencing the loneliness that comes with this level of spiritual commitment. You find yourself with fewer people who truly understand your perspective. Conversations that once flowed easily now feel strained because your spiritual priorities have shifted in ways that others find uncomfortable. This isolation is temporary but necessary. You are being separated unto the Lord for a specific purpose. Like a knight being fitted for armor before battle, you are being equipped with spiritual weapons and defenses that will serve you in the conflicts ahead. The enemy knows that if he can compromise the chosen ones, he can mislead the masses who look to them for spiritual guidance. So the attacks against your integrity, your discernment, and your willingness to stand apart are not random. They are strategic strikes designed to neutralize your spiritual influence. But here is what darkness cannot comprehend. Every attack designed to weaken you is actually strengthening your resolve. Every pressure intended to make you compromise is building within you an unshakable determination to remain faithful to your calling. Every isolation meant to discourage you is creating within you a deeper dependence on divine guidance rather than human approval. Before we go any further, I need you to do something that will connect you with others who are walking this same narrow path. Subscribe to this channel right now if you have not already done so. This is not about growing numbers. This is about creating a network of spiritually discerning believers who can encourage one another when the pressure to compromise becomes intense. Like this video to help it reach others who need this confirmation, and share your own experiences in the comments below. Your testimony of choosing the narrow path despite the cost may be exactly what another believer needs to hear to stay strong in their own spiritual journey. We are not meant to walk this path in complete isolation. We are meant to be a remnant community that strengthens one another when the world tries to weaken our resolve. The season of spiritual comfort is ending. The season of spiritual warfare is intensifying. But you have been trained for this. Every trial that seemed to serve no purpose was developing your spiritual muscles for battles you could not yet see. Every disappointment that appeared to derail your dreams was actually positioning you for a destiny far greater than your original plans. Trust the process that has brought you to this moment of awakening. Trust the divine wisdom that is causing you to question influences you once accepted without examination. Trust the spiritual instincts that are warning you about people and situations that others consider perfectly safe. Your calling is not just personal, it is generational. The spiritual stands you take today will echo through the lives of those who come after you. The compromises you refuse to make will create a legacy of spiritual integrity that will inspire others long after your time on earth has ended. The warning has been given. The preparation has been provided. The choice is now yours. Will you heed the call to spiritual separation, maintaining your standards regardless of social pressure? Will you trust your spiritual discernment over popular opinion? Will you choose the narrow path even when it leads through seasons of loneliness and misunderstanding? The decision you make today will determine whether you fulfill the destiny for which you were created or become another casualty in the spiritual warfare that is intensifying around us. Your eternal purpose hangs in the balance of this choice. Stand strong, chosen one. Your time has come. The kingdom of heaven is counting on your faithfulness in the days ahead. Choose wisely. Eternity is watching.